Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here. Let's finish up with the headlines and let's go through this and call it a night, Little Joan. We got stuff to do. Oh, what's going on? I can't talk too much about this, but go to Gab Trends to see the link. But Biden signs executive order expanding vote by mail. And according to America Greatness, other shady voting practices. I don't know why you would say that. I mean, it was the most secure election ever. Joe Biden's the most popular president ever, right? Students for Life outs Christian colleges with ties to Planned Parenthood. Ooh, that's embarrassing. That's very embarrassing. What are you going to do then? So, yeah. Oh, here's the story. I almost did a piece on this. After calls to defund the police and spike in violent crimes, New York mayor's wife asked citizens to intervene in attacks. I mean, could this be more hypocritical? You really think the mayor's wife is going to do that? Oh, somebody's being robbed at gunpoint. Excuse me, dear. Let me jump out of my limo and see if I can help. You actually told people, F you, the cops aren't for you. We need them to guard that Black Lives Matter street painting. I mean, Bill de Blasio is an absolute disgrace. Why? See, Cuomo, he could have scored some points by getting rid of him. He really could have. Now, nobody cares. I mean, Cuomo's going to go. He's the sacrificial lamb. But de Blasio, he's destroyed New York. He's just absolutely destroyed it. And I hope somehow karma catches up to him. I really do. I just hope he goes. I mean, you would have to be absolutely brain dead to vote for Bill de Blasio in anything. Judge ends shooting case against Breonna Taylor's boyfriend. Which, I guess, I mean, at this point, you might as well. It's almost not worth putting the guy in jail for the shooting at this point. Just cut him loose and let's all put this behind us, because no one can be a grown-up about what actually happens anymore. So, yeah, let's just let him go, and the cops will pull back from those neighborhoods that are drug-infested, and you guys can just take care of yourselves, because that's exactly what's going to happen in this case. All right? I mean, you wanted this. The left wanted this. They wanted this sort of defund the police. So what are you going to do when crime spikes and it's out of control? What are you going to do? You going to say defund the police? I guess. What cop wants to work for you if you're constantly trying to cut their money? And again, I think cops have too much power. If you depowered the police, scaled back the sort of things they're supposed to patrol and do, then they would be more effective in the things that they do have to do. So, this is inevitable, right? You're going to get spikes in crimes in all these major cities. Everybody's going to move out, except for the rich people who can afford either private security, or the cops will continually protect them. And then the poor will just end up in a hellhole. And they'll either move or they'll suffer through it. I mean, this is what it's led to. And you can thank these Democratic prosecutors and judges who think they know better. Oh, we don't need cops. We need crisis counselors. How are you going to do a crisis counselor with a guy who's making his living selling drugs? Now, if you legalize drugs, problem solved. And it's not that he would go into legalized drug sales. He wouldn't. He's a criminal. Guys selling drugs almost across the board wouldn't go into it, because it would require study, work. You couldn't just hire anybody for those jobs. They would all fall by the wayside, because the people who go into crime are opportunists. They don't have money. They're desperate. Sometimes. A lot of times they're just lazy, and they're avoiding work by going into crime. They think by doing crime it'll actually be less work, but it's actually more work. It's like working for yourself, only with the threat of jail hanging over your head. The difference being is you make a tremendous amount of money in a short amount of time. So there are times when these guys do enjoy their money, but eventually it all catches up to them, because the moment they slack off, their rivals are right there trying to take everything. So, it's a high pressure gig. People don't understand. They get into it initially because it is easy. It's easy to rob people. It's easy to steal for a while. And then it gets harder and harder and harder. Because you get older, you have less opportunities, people trust you less. There's no place to move up unless you do things. Eventually, other criminals see what you're up to, and they start putting their thumb on you. So, it's not a good life. Stay away from it. Vaccine skeptical Trump country poses challenge to immunization push, from Politico. Not really. I think at the rate things are going in terms of the vaccine and the mask and everything like that, I think the Democrats right around mid-spring are going to start jettisoning, because the numbers are going to come in, and they change the parameters of the test, and without PRCs, you're going to see the false positives cause the cases to plummet to nothing. And that's when Joe Biden steps in and says, well, it's our push for vaccination that did this, and we're now in a great place, and blah, blah, blah. But here's another article about the beer virus. Flu-like illness expected side effect of beer virus vaccine, says WHO, with symptoms, including fever and headache. Here, you want to get back in here? All right. Go somewhere. Oh, my goodness, doggy. The dog is just wound up today. All right. So, I've heard people have gotten side effects. They felt like crap after getting a second punch. But at one point, people were getting the vaccine, and the thinking was, well, once you get the vaccine, we can ditch the mask and go back to our lives, right? And they were like, no, probably not. But now ABC News says fully vaccinated individuals can socialize without masks, distancing in some cases, as CDC says. See, now they're changing their tune. Now it's going to be fine, because now they want everybody to get vaccinated. I don't know. Personally, I don't want to get vaccinated, at least this go around. I would like to hear more studies about the vaccine and its side effects. I also worry that I could have an allergic reaction, because I do have allergies. For people in their 70s and up in vulnerable communities, sure, you should get the vaccine. If I was a vulnerable candidate, I'd be first in line. But I can't even get on the list. I mean, the soonest I could even get it would be May. And I have a coworker, he's 75, and he's not scheduled to May. And I'm just like, I'm not going to get in line in front of him. He needs it. He's 75. He's about to retire. He should totally get it. But someone like me, I'm fine. So far. Brussels deploys plainclothes police officers to sexual harassment hotspots where nearly 80% of women fear leaving home. Wow. What the hell's going on in Brussels? Shouldn't you guys be just making your sprouts and leaving people alone? That sounds terrible. It doesn't sound like the cops are going to do much, though. I mean, okay, let's say they arrest some guys, then they leave to go prosecute them, and or they're just going to move elsewhere. I don't exactly know what the problem is there, but that sounds like an issue that's more cultural. I don't have a solution for that one. Breaking: Supreme Court dismisses Lynn Wood's final election challenge without comment. And I can't really talk about it. So There's some more election stuff on here if you want to read about it. Honk, honk, wink, wink. Newsom hits home run as recall gets closer to the ballot. Hoping to unlock baseball stadiums as season openers approach is guaranteed popular and bipartisan thing. Newsom is probably getting desperate as he realizes, oh crap, I could be recalled. Let's play baseball, everyone. You know what? Maybe you can have indoor dining and a few things. It's typical. I don't know why he's, I would just open the state at this point, and then they'd probably leave him alone. Looks like Mitch McConnell may be retiring, according to National File. Good. Because I don't think he stands a chance in getting in. The Meghan Markle thing is just all over the news. I don't know why these people care or why they keep reporting on Meghan Markle. Who cares? Harvard is creating an app to guide students to gender-inclusive bathrooms. I mean, I guess that needs to be gender-inclusive bathrooms, like the whole bathroom, or is it just, what is that for? I don't get it. Democrat blue anon theories may be the biggest threat to American democracy, but media protects it. Is that Tim Pool? Oh yeah, it's a Tim Pool one. That's a good video. If Tim Pool's doing it, it's probably a good video, so check that out. Twitter allows Louis Farrakhan vaccine claims despite misinformation policy. Yeah, they're afraid of him. He'd probably sue him in a hot second, I guess. But, that's Twitter. Twitter's so stupid. Don't go on Twitter if you can possibly help it. I sell books there, but I don't feel good about it. Top New York GOP lawmaker unveils impeachment resolution against Cuomo, so we may be finally rid of him. And I think we're just about to wrap up here. Biden executive order helps imprisoned criminals vote by mail, I guess. I mean, I think you should get your vote back when you're out of prison, but while you're in prison, I think you got bigger problems. I don't think you need to vote while you're in prison. And I don't know why the Democrats think everybody in prison would be inclined to vote for them. Are you that pro-crime, Democrats, that you think, oh yeah, those guys are Democrats. See that prison? Full of Democrats. That's voters for us. Not necessarily so. I think there are plenty of people in prison who would vote Republican. I think they just wouldn't care. I think most of them wouldn't care. I mean, it might be something to do. I mean, they're constantly bored in prison. I guess if you got a day out and got to go to the polling place and a chance to, get out of the prison, you'd be like, yeah, I'll go vote. But I don't think they really care. They got bigger fish to fry. Facebook admits threat to ban knitting 81-year-old woman for hate speech was a mistake. Well, I would think so. Jesus. What the hell's wrong with you, Facebook? Joe Biden blames insurrection for executive order on voter registration. Well, there's a realistic thing. Why? Joe Biden, I'm surprised he can even say the word insurrection, quite frankly, but much less blame something on it. It's just stupid. God, there's so much Meghan Markle stuff. So much. Oh, I don't know if you saw this. Google this. Arizona Bath and Body Works turns into a slugfest between customers. It actually got into a fist fight between women. And the one male manager had to throw everybody out of the store. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you people? You're in a Bed Bath and Body Works, or Bath and Body Works, whatever. And you just can't act civilized. There's not a thing in the world that I can imagine that would lead me to throw a punch in a Bath and Body Works, right? If things got heated, I'd just be like, I'm getting the F out of here. I mean, it's a Bath and Body Works. Who cares? Finally, will LeBron James get the beer virus vaccine? His controversial answer. I think we got to see this one. That's a conversation my family and I will have. I'll keep that to a private thing, James told a group of reporters. I'll say that answer is no. And here's what I suspect. He doesn't want to get it because it might make him sick, and that might ruin one of his games. That's my thinking. He doesn't need it. He's probably one of the most healthiest people on the planet. I mean, he's a professional athlete. All he does is exercise all day. He doesn't need it. So I don't blame him for not getting it, quite frankly. I don't think he's getting it. I don't think he's getting it at all. Have any professional athletes gotten the beer virus and died? I don't think, people who are current, not retired, obviously. These guys are in the peak of health. I wouldn't think these guys would need it at all, with the survival rate. So, and the chances of him getting anything from the vaccine, that's low too. It's very low, any vaccine bad reaction, but he would definitely probably not feel great for a day. So why risk it? Why risk it? If anything, he should be tested for antibodies, and then if he's got some antibodies, he's probably already had it. People have those, and they don't know it because they were asymptomatic. But that's it for the news. Not a good news day. Nothing too crazy or woke. Joan and I will see you tomorrow. By the way, the basement's finally clean, and I'm going to paint soon. The fumes yesterday were out of control. I was heady with fumes. So I hope my videos were coherent yesterday.